This is Dan again with Supernatural Marriage, and I want to talk to you today about being a great lover. If you're married, you probably have it on your heart that you'd like to be the greatest lover on earth. And if you think about it, that's a great goal, but so many times we don't quite cut the mustard. Sometimes we're not as good at showing love to our spouse as we wanted to be. Sometimes we say things or do things that kind of mess up the ambiance, mess up the feeling of our relationship, and things just don't go quite the way we wanted them to that day. But let me tell you, God intends for you to be an awesome lover. He intends for you to be the greatest lover on earth for your spouse. That's something that He gives to you because He wants to bless you with it, and He wants to bless your spouse with it, and He wants to bless your children and your children's children through it. Because when you love your spouse, you release a destiny for those children. You release an inheritance for them that they can receive and become lovers of God and lovers of their spouses, just like we want to be now. Let me tell you how you do it. The truth is, you can read books about how to love your spouse. You can read manuals. You can talk to people and get all kinds of good advice. And you know that stuff helps. It's good to know those things. But what really makes you a great lover is not what you know. What makes you the best lover is what is inside your spirit. What God places there. You've heard of the fruit of the Spirit. We've all talked about that in Sunday school, but maybe not quite in this context. But you know, the fruit of the Spirit comes directly from the Spirit of God to our spirit. It's not something we can learn about and act out. The fruit of the Spirit is actually an entity that's placed in us personally by the hand of God. And it's there for a purpose, because when the fruit of the Spirit are in you, you act differently than when you haven't received that fruit. And if you think about it, that fruit is exactly what you need to be a supernatural, awesome, astounding, stupendous lover for your spouse. Think about the words: love, joy, peace, patience. How many of us need patience with our spouses? I think we all do. What about kindness and goodness? Is it important to be faithful to your wife? You bet it is. Is it important to be gentle with your husband? You bet it is. And what about self-control? Do we need self-control? We do. And none of those things can be learned or acted out until they're received as a gift from God. We need to be asking for the fruit of the Spirit to be implanted in us by the living Spirit of God. And when that fruit becomes part of who you are, it will just flow out in the way you act. You'll become the greatest lover on earth. What spouse could ask for anything more than a partner who loves them and is patient with them and is good to them and kind to them and has self-control? Those are the description of the greatest lover on earth, and that can be you. I challenge you. Ask for it. Receive that fruit and let it take you over as you become the greatest lover on earth.